I've been waiting forever to do this video. Yes! 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 Today we will be talking about the best girl in Persona 5. You know, Ren's canon girlfriend. The one that Atlas shoves down your throat through a good majority of the game.
Joker, let's do this.
It's hot.
That means it's canon, right? It's gotta be. I'm all about the canon. Canon is the only way to play this game. Canon. Gotta love the word canon. Canon! Makoto Niijima. So I tried to romance her in this game, and I was successful, but I fucked up and accidentally romanced on after. So I said, fuck it, let me just do a harem route. Makoto is my bae though, and this video is dedicated to her and only her. I love you, baby. So this is Behind the Confidant, where I share my thoughts, explain, and rate the confidants of Persona 5. This may be a long one, but it's definitely gonna be a goodie. I've never really told people the real reason why I like Makoto, mainly because I would have to sit here and fully explain it to you guys, which would take about a good 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm not good at explaining things while being put on the spot. But give me a pen and paper and I could write up a good, clean essay on why I like or hate something in particular. Now, Makoto Niijima, I feel, gets a lot of hate for the wrong reasons. After this video, you might look at her a little differently, or you may not. But my job is to make sure you're entertained. So let's begin. Miss Student Council President may seem like she's Mitsuru Kirijo's clone, but she ain't, although they do share some similar traits, like being the team mom. Makoto Niijima is known for having almost no self-worth. She keeps her head in her books and does what is expected of her. This, straight off the bat, is very relatable to myself. While growing up, I was told to get good grades in school and work hard to become a doctor. My parents were fixated, and let me tell you, they were fucking fixated on me going to medical school to be a doctor. I remember at one point in my childhood, my dad had me saying, I'm going to Harvard. I'm going to Harvard, Daddy. I had so much Harvard attire as a kid. My parents believed in me, and I wasn't going to let them down. Fast forward on to high school, I got really fascinated with the idea of YouTube. There were times where I would make videos of me getting 50+ kill streaks in Call of Duty Black Ops with my mobile phone.
What's up, everyone? It's Blazing Kid 67 here, coming at you guys with some more Call of Duty gameplay. And for today, random ass storytelling, I just want to talk about the devil-worshipping albinos that live in San Jose. I live in Mountain View, which...
Yeah, the camera didn't look so good. I know. I was one of those little kids that was video recording his goddamn TV screen with a phone. Yeah, that was me. I was doing that and doing commentaries. It was bad. Those videos are deleted. You can't find those. You definitely can't find those, I bet. YouTube was a twinkle in my goddamn eye. There were people getting famous for playing video games. That was cool to me. My grades dropped from straight A's to A's, B's, and maybe a C here and 2 C's there. You know how it is. So, of course, bye-bye Harvard. Upon graduating high school, I decided I wanted to be a YouTuber and started seriously recording videos while attending junior college. My dad hated YouTube and still to this day hates the idea of it. Our relationship is horrible because of YouTube, but I still pursue it. Why? Because it's my dream. I didn't know what my path was in high school. I tentatively would study hard to do something that I didn't really give 2 fucks about. But once I saw YouTube, it became clear to me. I learned that not everyone is going to be on your team, but sometimes you have to stick to your guns and do what makes you happy, which is what Makoto ends up learning throughout her confidant. So, when you guys ask me, Blaze, why do you like Makoto so much? It's because I can relate. I've been there, done that, and have moved past it. So let's stop talking about me and get into Makoto Niijima's juicy confidant. Starting with rank 1. Rank 1 starts off with Makoto talking about how even though she's a student council president with tons of academic success, she wasn't able to save the victims of Kamoshida or Kaneshiro. She is now part of the Phantom Thieves. She wants to be able to help people like this. So Makoto and Ren come to the conclusion that in order to properly serve the student body she leads, she may need to broaden her horizons a bit. In other words, she needs to become one with the people. People don't respect a leader they can't relate. That's just how it goes. It's politics 101. Eventually, the couple go to an arcade where, yeah, I said it, couple, okay? This is my story, bro. The ship sails here. I'm going with the Makoto Cross Ren ship. Fuck it. Eventually, they, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, go to an arcade where Makoto decides she wants to play an arcade shooter. You know, those games like Time Crisis or House of the Dead. I love those games when I go to the arcade. I'm super good at them too. Ren proceeds to teach Makoto how to play the arcade shooter and she gets really into it. I mean, maybe a little too into the game. You don't believe me? Watch this.
I did it! No way!
Upon finishing the game, Makoto feels like she understands people a bit more. Here is when you obtain Makoto's rank 1 Confidant skill, Shadow Calculator, which allows you to potentially see items that are dropped by shadows. After all the menu thingies go away, Makoto proceeds to tell Ren that she recently spotted a report of students hanging out in the red light district. We learned earlier on in our encounter with Kaneshiro that the red light district ain't no joke. It is not a place for kids to be. But being the curious student council president Makoto is, she wants to check it out. This is where rank 1 ends and we move on to rank 2. Makoto and Ren arrive at the red light district. Makoto proceeds to tell Ren that she recalls the stories her dad used to tell her about the place. Apparently the red light district was the place to be for criminals and illegal immigrants. Real quick though, I actually didn't know illegal immigration was a problem in Japan. Apparently, it's been increasing a lot since World War II. I looked it up and apparently most illegal foreigners that reside in Japan are from Brazil, China, Korea, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Nepal, which Brazil and Nepal seem a bit random in my opinion, but I found this kind of interesting. I just had to look it up. I get interested when we talk about like geography and history and such like that. So you guys should look into it. And if you guys do, comment down below. I'd really like to hear what you have to say about it. Anyways, Makoto explains that the installation of surveillance cameras in the red light district has helped decrease the crime rate there. Apparently, the red light district isn't as poppin' as it once was. So the duo proceed to split up and explore the new area. You gotta admit, Makoto's got some balls for wanting to explore a shady ass town by herself. Big balls. We're talking about Shaq-sized balls here. And hey, I don't know how big Shaq's balls are, but they gotta be huge, right? Pause. Moving along, Makoto gets stopped by a shady dude that seems to be a scout for a hostess club. Apparently his girls like to wear cute dresses, which has me thinking, does he have a lot of minors working for him, or if that any? So Makoto, being the badass she is, was gonna question the guy if he had any Shujin students working for him, but the guy was way too persistent and almost dragged her inside with him. So Makoto backed out that bitch before anything bad could happen to her. Makoto then explains to Ren that if it wasn't for him being there, she would have to kick that guy's fucking ass, because she's a badass bitch, of course. It's Makoto we're talking about here. She's got Aikido under her belt. Luckily, the guy didn't get fucked up, and nobody was hurt in the process. More than likely him than anybody, but you guys get what I mean, right? She then thanks Ren for being there for her and hopes she can return the favor someday. Right before they leave, Makoto notices a girl with a Shujin uniform walking into a hostess club. Talk about perfect timing. She recognizes the girl and turns out they used to be in the same class. The question of why she's here arises. Apparently the name of the building she went into is the After School Salon, or Saloon. Salon? I don't know why they called it, they spelled it like it says salon, but I thought it was saloon. It's definitely saloon, right? It's gotta be saloon, it can't be salon. I know for a fact that this bitch ain't at the red light district to get her hair done, and that's a fact. Ren and Makoto are clueless to what that place is, so Makoto insists that she's going to ask the girl herself and would like Ren to tag along. This is where rank 2 ends, and at the end of rank 2, you get the ability Baton Pass, and I could sit here and explain Baton Pass to you guys, but no, I'm not. I'm lazy as fuck. I'm sorry. We're moving on to rank 3. Makoto, Ren, and the mysterious red light district girl appear to be in the student council room. This is where Makoto goes into full detective mode, asking the girl why she was spending time in the red light district. She does proceed to tell the girl that her and Ren saw her at the red light district. Honestly, if I was Eiko, I'd be like, bitch, it ain't none of your damn business why I was there. You ain't my mama. Eiko scrolls through her phone uninterested as hell. Probably checking her Instagram or some shit. I mean, that's what I do. I'm always looking at Twitter or something like that. While Makoto asks her how it is working at the after school salon, Eiko finally puts her phone away and tells Makoto that it's just a normal cafe and that the weirdest thing is she has to wear a uniform. Eiko also ensures that she ain't giving no handies and she ain't blowing no dicks while she's there. It's a totally legal, legit business. That's a lot of adjectives, I know. Makoto's like, bitch, I'm gonna need you to get that smart ass toad up out your mouth. Now I'm gonna ask you again. Are you sure nothing strange is going on? Eiko tells Makoto that she just gets old guys that drool over her and that she only works at that place for spending money. Like every teenager, Eiko's parents would monitor her buying habits if she used the money they gave her. So to not have to deal with that shit, she works at the salon to make her own money, or saloon, whatever the place is called. Eiko then boasts about how the guys at the salon mega pamper her. She thinks Makoto can relate to her since she's the student council president, but Makoto gives off the aura that she can't. Remember, Makoto is not cool at school. Guys aren't really lining up to take her hand in marriage. No one wants a snooty student council president know-it-all bitch. Say that 5 times fast. Eiko then starts to tease Makoto on her relationship with Ren. I mean, it is kind of weird that the two would randomly be at the red light district together. It's kind of fishy. Why would you guys be there as a couple? After teasing Makoto a bit, the two girls bond over Makoto's panda pencil case. It is pretty cute if I do say so myself. I wouldn't mind having one too. The two chop it up like best friends would and exchange phone numbers. Makoto seemed to be a little confused about how Eiko apparently used to think she was a robot. I mean, could you blame her? Makoto is about as dense as they come. She didn't even know what video games were until we brought her to the arcade. Come on, girl. Have you seen the outside world before? Overall, she seems happy that she's made a new friend that is literally an opposite personality to her. Rank 3 is now ended, and you have acquired the skill Nerd Talk, which can aid in demon negotiation. It's a pretty good skill. So we're moving on up to rank 4. Makoto and Ren are back in the student council room, and Makoto is explaining to him about her recent practice interest exam score was lower than the last time she took it. This is where the topic of self-love comes into play. She's wondered lately about what she's doing in life. Makoto feels as though she has to abide by what society and Sai expect from her, which is being the perfect honor student. Now, I've said this time and time again, if you let other people live vicariously through you, you're gonna have a rough time living life. Makoto feels her path is pointless. She then begins to compare herself to Eiko, her newfound best friend. Eiko has no ambition, but feels fine, something that Makoto constantly frowns upon. I mean, look at the way she treats Ryuji. Makoto seems to understand now why there's people like this. Hold up, pause. I'm not really a big fan of the way Eiko lives life either, personally. She has no goals and expects mommy and daddy to carry her through life. That's cool and all, but I feel you should have at least your own objectives and goals that you want to meet. Makoto begins to tell Ren about her dad. She goes to say that he was a police officer who hated the corruption in their society, and he worked tirelessly to bring it to justice. Makoto, reminiscing about her father, reminded her that she really looked up to her father and even wanted to be a police officer just like him. But her father did not want her to be one because it was way too dangerous. Makoto assures to Ren that although that was her dream, she has no intention of working with the police. Why would she want to work with the people that are trying to put her in cuffs? She's part of the Phantom Thieves now. She's a thief. Makoto realizes that she needs to start looking towards her future endeavors instead of narrowly studying in her books 24/7. After thanking Ren for her venting session, rank 4 ends. You have acquired Final Blow, a follow-up attack that can kill an enemy. So another one down! Now let's move on to rank 5. We see Makoto and Ren in the school courtyard. Makoto proceeds to tell Ren that Eiko has started dating a host from a club near her job. This shit sounds shady already. Apparently this guy hit her one day after her shift. This is warning sign number 1 that she shouldn't have been fucking with this dude, okay? Keep that in mind, guys. Ladies, if a guy hits you, you leave immediately. Be smarter than Eiko. Makoto is smart, so she already sees that this guy is bad news. She then warns Eiko, but she refuses to listen to her and says that all hosts aren't bad people, quote unquote. Yeah, he's not bad. I mean, all he did was punch you in the face. That's cool. You guys are probably catching on that this girl Eiko isn't very smart, right? You're getting it. You're understanding. Eiko shoots a couple shots at Makoto, basically saying that she's not gonna take advice from someone who sucks at dating, quote unquote. Makoto starts to second guess herself and says that she doesn't have any proof that he's untrustworthy. I mean, other than this guy hit her. Hello? Am I the only one that's understanding this? So Makoto wants to meet this guy in person. And of course, the only way she's going to be able to do that is to set up a double date with Eiko. And guess who has been chosen to be Makoto's pretend boyfriend? You guessed it. Ding, 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 ding. Ren. That's pretty much the end of this sequence, and you don't get any skills for ranking up to rank 5, so on to the next rank. Now we move on to the double date at the diner. This is literally the double date from hell. I hate this scene. I hate it so much because literally I'll get into it later. I'm gonna shut up. Let me just say, it only took me about 3 seconds to tell that Tsukasa is a straight fuck boy. And then it only took 3 text boxes for this little shit to be hitting on my girl. Ooh! So Eiko gushes over how affectionate this guy is, which makes me sick. I wish I was as chill as Ren is in the scene. I could never be this composed when there's a fuck boy like him calling me out and making me look lesser. Eiko eventually goes to the bathroom, and without skipping a beat, Makoto jumps right into detective mode. She asks Tsukasa if he's serious about the relationship with Eiko. She tells him that she just wants to look out for her friend's well-being. Tsukasa praises Makoto for being a good friend. Note that he actually avoids Makoto's question about being serious with Eiko. Instead, he asks for Makoto's digits. Ren tries to step in, but apparently Eiko already gave this scrub Makoto's number. What a great friend she is. After, he finally says that his love for Eiko is as pure as snow, yada yada fuckboy talk. So Douchebag and Princess Dumbo leave. Makoto then starts to second guess herself. Is she truly getting in the way of Eiko's happiness? Or is she just being a good friend by being concerned for her? She then remembers that her father always stressed how important it is to trust hunches. With impeccable timing, Ding-a-ling sends her texts with emojis. Makoto, of course, doesn't speak dipshit, so she struggles trying to translate it. Corkscrew is trying to holler at her behind Eiko's back. He's sending her all these damn weird clapping emojis, letting her know he's trying to clap some cheeks under the sheets. You feel me? Looks like Makoto's hunch was correct though. She thanks Ren for being there for her and the event ends. You acquire the ability Wake Up Slap, which occasionally cures allies of status ailments. So in rank 7, we back in the student council room. Makoto stresses that Tsukasa has been sending her a lot of flirty texts. Makoto questions if she's overreacting to the texts though. This leads into a discussion of the hosting scams her dad would tell her about. She then tells Ren about how her father was going after a notorious scam. During the course of his investigation, he was hit by an errant truck, which killed him instantly. This right here is where I really started to like Makoto. The story about her dad makes you see that she isn't as perfect as everyone thinks she is. She's a lost girl trying to find her place in life. We also find out that her dad's tragic death was the reason her sister Sai was inspired to become a prosecutor, to bring justice to evil. Their mother had passed away years prior to the incident, leaving Makoto and Sai to fend for themselves. This put a lot of pressure on Sai. Not only did she lose her parents, but she had to become a parent herself and raise Makoto all alone. And this right here makes me sad because I feel like Sai would have been a fucking cool ass social link, but instead, you know, they have this different social link for her. But I wanted to see more about Sai. Sai is Sai mama. I love her so much. She is beautiful. If Sai was an option here, I would totally go after Sai. I feel like Sai would be best girl over Makoto, but you know how it goes. Makoto looked up to her sister and always thought she'd follow whatever path Sai put in front of her to help her sister. But she remembers her father saying, the most important part of life is how you choose to live it. She comes to the realization that she might be able to help her sister and choose her own path at the same time. After that, she thanks you for the venting session she just had with you. We got a lot of juicy backstory of Makoto and also Sai's life here, so this was a perfect rank. After, you acquire the skill Shadow Factorization, which shows whether an attack will be absorbed, reflected, or have no effect. Moving on to rank 8. The pretend couple are shown hanging out with Eiko at Big Bang Burger. Apparently, Eiko had wanted to speak to them about something important. Eiko proceeds to ask Makoto to loan her some money. Guess who it's for? Yup, the dipshit. Tsukasa apparently dropped a super expensive bottle of sake at work and was told to pay for it. I thought this guy was a big baller, but apparently he's just all talk. My thing here is, your man can't afford a bottle of sake, but you want to get married to him and not go to college. Priorities, girl. Makoto says that Tsukasa is scamming her and asks Eiko if she is sure the boy's story is true. Eiko continues to defend him, and Makoto shoots back by telling her that Tsukasa is lying to her. This bitch insists that Tsukasa thinks she's his special princess. Apparently, Mr. Tsukasa got Eiko a job to help him pay off the bottle. Oh yeah, what a gentleman he is. So Makoto decides to pull out the big guns and tell her that Tsukasa's been sending him some interesting texts. Do you guys think Eiko is going to understand? Nope. She throws a bitchy fit and explodes on Makoto. She says Makoto has got it all. Yada yada yada. Hiss hiss. He's my one boyfriend. Blah 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 blah. How dare you try to steal him from me? Merp meep 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 meep. Where's the sheep? She's gonna work at the host club to get the money. She then leaves. Bye bitch. Like Makoto mentions before, Eiko's loneliness and vulnerability has made her an easy target to get pulled into the host club scene. Makoto used to be so blinded by her own convictions that she wouldn't listen to others, but has grown past that now and hopes Eiko can do the same. At the end of the scene, she echoes her father's "what is the right way to live" quote. After that, you acquire the skill Resilience, which is a chance to withstand a death blow. We're so close, guys, we're almost there. Rank 9. It's evidence gathering time. The duo show up in the red light district in pursuit to gather solid proof that Tsukasa is running a scam. After gathering the evidence, Makoto and Ren meet up with Eiko to explain to her that her boyfriend is just a scamming bitch. Eiko is not convinced, so she calls bullshit on Makoto's claims. The douchebag finally arrives. Makoto tricks Tsukasa into admitting that he calls Eiko a princess because he can't remember her real name. Princess is something he calls all his hoes. He's a pimp daddy like Sojiro. The dumbass then calls Eiko Makoto. You would think this is the deal breaker, right? Nope. Eiko still doesn't buy it and calls Makoto a bitch. Makoto then lets her emotions get the best of her and slaps the shit out of Eiko, telling her to wake up. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Somebody needed to do it. I thought I was going to have to, but Makoto did it for me. Makoto refuses to stand by and let her bestie get hurt by this evil man. Tsukasa then threatens to beat Makoto up. What a big guy he is. I guess he didn't know that Makoto is an Aikido fighter. She would definitely whoop his ass in a one-on-one fight. Ren steps in before the scene gets messy and helps scare Tsukasa off. Tsukasa then runs off, along with Eiko in the opposite direction. Makoto and Ren discuss the shit that just went down and talk about how Makoto gets swept up with her emotions sometimes, so like her father, she has to try hard to stay composed. She then remarks that her experience with Eiko and Ren has taught her much about life that she didn't understand before. Makoto realizes that there's times that you need others to learn things that you haven't learned before. This is finally where you get the opportunity to romance the best girl in the game, hands down. And I would highly suggest you do because she is so sweet. Do it for me, please. We are finally here, guys. The last rank, rank 10. Makoto and Ren appear to be in Ren's room. This is the part where I'm internally screaming. She's in Ren's room. She's in my room. I'm Ren. She's in my room. Makoto tells Ren that her and Eiko made up. I think the slap and some time to herself to think helped her realize that Tsukasa is a scumbag and Makoto truly was there to help her. She also goes on to say Eiko quit her job at the host club and decided to go to college and figure things out for her own life. 1 point for Makoto, 0 points for Tsukasa here. Thank God. This leads Makoto to also come to the conclusion that she will be continuing her studies, not for the sake of meeting others' expectations, but for her own life goals and dreams. Her newfound dream is to become a police commissioner, and she is going to study hard as ever to achieve it. And she learned this all thanks to Ren. She will put evil away for the name of justice to continue her father's legacy. To end it all off, her and Ren do get to have some sexy time with one another, which results in the end of the rank and Makoto's social link, of course. Now you get her ultimate persona, a knot, which looks like a badass transformer. I love the design of this persona. Now that we have gone through the whole Makoto Confidant in its entirety, let us rate how good the Confidant is overall. All right, where's my glasses? Let me put my glasses on for this one. All right, so one of my main problems with this Confidant is I feel it relies too much on Eiko at points. Literally ranks 5 and 6 are entirely about her, which is cool and all, but I feel Joker really had no reason to be there, and Makoto had little to no development here. Here I am, grinding my charm to max, just so I can please who? Not Makoto, but Eiko? Am I supposed to be developing a relationship with Eiko or Makoto? I found this shit super annoying. Also, around the point where Tsukasa gets introduced, I felt like Ren was just an observer. He didn't really do or say anything that influences the situation at all, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because in Ryuji's Confidant, it's pretty similar, but then again, Ren was kind of there to keep Makoto brave. I don't know. I'm honestly conflicted about it. I definitely love the story behind this though. It starts off with Makoto wanting to just be a normal teenager, free of the expectations she feels have been placed upon her. Eiko was placed to kind of add depth to Makoto's character, which we don't really see anywhere else in the story. It was cool to see Makoto constantly questioning things about her life, because she's one of those characters that you would think has everything figured out for herself. She's built her whole life around test scores and studies. She then goes through a transformation and realizes that all of the studying and practice exams and all of this stuff is important, but it doesn't define who she is. I love seeing her come up with the resolution of wanting to follow in her father's footsteps and chase justice. Now, another thing positive I can say about this link is Makoto's character doesn't feel too different from the main storyline. A perfect example of this is An's link. An goes through this whole I want to make modeling a serious thing deal and decides to cut out junk food, work out, and all that other good stuff. You know how it goes. But then you go to the main story and she's eating chips, cakes, desserts, and all this random shit that's not good for her. So you're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, what was the point of that Confidant then? Didn't you say that you wanted to take modeling serious? But then you are eating junk food and stuff. Like, I don't know. It was hard to take her Confidant seriously at points. But we will get to that in the future. You guys got to vote for it though. We're gonna get to that also. I can definitely see why this Confidant probably doesn't hit close to home for some of you guys that have played this game, but it was definitely a story that I could relate to at points. I'm gonna give this Confidant a 7 out of 10. It was enjoyable to see Makoto transform, but the overall presentation was the main flaw of this Confidant, to be honest with y'all. I felt it would have been more interesting to see her building a relationship with her sister Sai, but who am I? Obviously not a writer, right? I want to go ahead and end off and say this because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, boy, but you love Makoto. It should be a 10 out of 10. Well, you guys got to remember, I'm rating the Confidant, not necessarily the character. So the Confidant wasn't really that great, to be honest with you. Like the whole thing, it was cool. It was cool at points, but it wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. Didn't have me coming back. The only reason why I came back was because I liked Makoto. So that's all I got. Now I want you guys to rate this Confidant down in the comment section below and also vote on the straw poll that I've linked in the comment section for what Confidant you want to see next. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking time out of your day to sit here and listen to this boy ramble on about Makoto Niijima. I just love her. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.
Hope will never die.